You have been waiting for somebody to speak life into you while you have been speaking death over yourself every morning. The greatest conversation you will ever have is not with your pastor, not with your boss, not with your husband or wife, not even with your friends. The greatest conversation you will ever have is the one you have with yourself when nobody else is around. Because whatever you repeatedly say to yourself becomes the architecture of your future. Your words are not just sounds. Your words are containers. They carry faith or fear. They carry vision or confusion. They carry life or destruction. And many people are living beneath their purpose because they have become prisoners of their own internal language. You wake up in the morning and before your feet touch the ground, you already say, I am tired, I cannot do this, nothing good ever happens to me. And then you wonder why your spirit has no strength. You cannot continually confess weakness and expect to walk in power. You cannot rehearse failure in your mind and expect victory in your life. Life responds to the language you tolerate. The human spirit is designed by God to move in the direction of dominant thoughts and words. That is why you must learn to talk to yourself correctly. For the next 3 days, I want you to become intentional about every word that comes out of your mouth concerning your life. Stop announcing your fears. Stop advertising your insecurity. Stop introducing yourself to your future with doubt. Speak to yourself as if heaven already approved your destiny, because it has. You were not born accidentally. You are not a biological mistake. You are not just another human trying to survive on earth. You were sent here carrying purpose. And whenever purpose is present, opposition is guaranteed. The enemy does not fight people who are going nowhere. The enemy attacks potential. That pressure you feel is evidence that there is greatness trapped inside you trying to emerge. Some of you have been waiting for motivation, but motivation is temporary when identity is broken. You do not need another emotional moment. You need a transformation in the way you see yourself. The problem with many people is not lack of opportunity. It is lack of self-concept. If I place a king on a throne who thinks like a slave, he will still live in fear. If I place a wealthy man in a palace who thinks like a beggar, he will still live with poverty in his mind. Your life cannot consistently rise above the level of your self-perception. That is why you must begin to say things like, I am valuable, I am disciplined, I am chosen, I am capable, I am growing stronger every day. I can learn, I can build, I can overcome. Some people say that sounds arrogant. No, arrogance is pretending you created yourself. Confidence is agreeing with God about who you are. When you speak positively about your future, you are not being proud. You are activating faith. Most people talk to themselves worse than they would talk to their enemies. Think about it. You encourage other people while insulting yourself. You forgive others while condemning yourself. You see potential in everyone else while calling yourself useless. And then you wonder why you feel emotionally exhausted. Your spirit was never designed to survive constant self-abuse. Every day you must become your own prophet. Speak life into your future before you see evidence of change. For 3 days, stop saying, I can't. Those 2 words have destroyed more dreams than failure ever did. The cemetery is full of people who surrendered mentally before they ever started physically. Potential dies in the mind first. Long before people quit outwardly, they quit internally. But when you change your internal dialogue, your energy changes, your posture changes, your decisions change, your expectations change. Suddenly, you stop waiting for permission to become who you were born to be. You must understand something powerful. Your mind listens to your mouth. Every time you speak, your subconscious records instructions. If you continually say, I am unlucky, your mind starts looking for proof. If you say, nothing works for me, your spirit loses expectation. But if you wake up and say, today will be productive, I will learn, I will improve, I will overcome obstacles, opportunities are coming toward me, your mind begins searching for ways to make those words reality. The greatest tragedy in life is not death. The greatest tragedy is living your entire existence without discovering your assignment. And one of the fastest ways to kill purpose is negative self-talk. You cannot insult yourself into greatness. You cannot shame yourself into discipline. You cannot hate yourself into transformation. Real change begins when you start speaking to yourself with authority and vision. When David faced Goliath, he did not focus on the size of the giant. He focused on the greatness of the God inside him. Everybody else saw defeat. David saw possibility. Why? Because champions speak differently. Ordinary people talk about problems. Extraordinary people talk about solutions. Weak people rehearse excuses. Strong people rehearse vision. The language of your mouth reveals the condition of your mind. Some of you are addicted to negativity. You have become emotionally attached to struggle because struggle has become your identity. Every conversation is filled with complaints. Every thought is filled with fear. Every expectation is filled with disappointment. But hear me carefully. You cannot create a positive future while continuously speaking negative words. Faith-filled words produce faith-filled actions. For the next 3 days, I want you to guard your mouth like your destiny depends on it, because it does. Stop saying you are broke. Say you are building. Stop saying you are lost. Say you are learning. Stop saying you are weak. Say you are becoming stronger. Stop saying nobody believes in you. Remind yourself that your value is not determined by public opinion. A seed does not look like a forest when you first see it, but hidden inside that seed is unimaginable potential. The wealthiest place in the world is not the bank. It is not the oil field. It is not the diamond mine. The wealthiest place in the world is the graveyard, because millions of people died carrying books they never wrote, businesses they never built, songs they never sang, ideas they never developed. Why? Because they talked themselves out of their destiny. They kept saying, maybe later, maybe I'm not good enough, maybe someone else can do it better, and fear became the prison of their potential. You were not created to spend your life doubting yourself. God never created anything without purpose. Birds were designed to fly. Fish were designed to swim. And you were designed to fulfill an assignment only you can accomplish. There is something the world is waiting to receive from you, but you will never release it if you keep speaking defeat over your own life. Some of you need to stand in front of the mirror for the next 3 days and say, I am not average. I am not forgotten. I am not finished. My past does not define my future. I have survived too much to quit now. I am still here because my assignment is not over. There is power in declaration. The world was created with words. Your environment responds to words. Your spirit responds to words. Even your body responds to words. Research has shown that stress, fear, and negativity affect the human body physically. Why? Because your body listens to your thoughts. When you constantly live in fear, your body carries the burden. But when you speak peace, confidence, and hope, your mind begins to align with strength. This is why protecting your thoughts is essential for your future. Do not allow temporary failure to become permanent identity. Failing at something does not make you a failure. Losing does not make you a loser. Mistakes are events. They are not identities. A child falls many times before learning to walk, but the child never concludes, walking is not for me. The child keeps trying until movement becomes natural. Why do adults quit after one disappointment? Because somewhere along the way, they accepted negative language about themselves. The enemy knows that if he can control your thoughts, he can control your actions. That is why the battlefield is your mind. He whispers things like, you will never succeed. Nobody cares about you. You are too late. You missed your chance. And many people accept those lies without resistance. But you must learn to answer negativity with truth. When fear says, you are not enough, respond with, I am growing every day. When doubt says, you cannot handle this, respond with, I was designed for challenges. When failure says, quit, respond with, I am learning, adapting, and rising again. You must become aggressive about protecting your inner conversation. For 3 days, remove words of defeat from your vocabulary. Stop rehearsing tragedy. Stop magnifying obstacles. Stop feeding anxiety with your own speech. Some people pray for miracles while speaking curses over themselves every day. Your mouth must come into agreement with your vision. You were born to dominate your environment, not be dominated by it. You were born to create, to build, to lead, to inspire, to serve humanity with your gift. And gifts grow in environments of expectation. If you constantly tell yourself you are incapable, your gift suffocates under insecurity. But when you speak with faith, your gift gains courage. Most successful people are not necessarily the most talented. They simply refuse to keep speaking limitations over themselves. They trained their minds to believe possibility. They understood that before you conquer externally, you must conquer internally. There are people listening to me right now who have already decided that life is against them. You have become comfortable with disappointment, but your future does not have to repeat your past. The next chapter of your life can look completely different if you change your internal language. Transformation begins with thought, and thought becomes reality through words. Stop introducing yourself with weakness. Stop making jokes about your own incompetence. Stop speaking carelessly about your future. Your words are seeds, and every seed produces harvest. If you plant fear consistently, do not be surprised when anxiety grows. If you plant confidence consistently, courage will eventually emerge. For 3 days, wake up and speak vision before checking your phone. Speak purpose before listening to bad news. Speak strength before entertaining doubt. Say, I am focused, I am disciplined, I am healthy, I am productive, I am attracting the right opportunities. I will not waste my life. I will become everything I was created to be. You may not feel different immediately. That is not important. Feelings are temporary, but consistent words reshape mentality over time. A plane leaving the runway moves only slightly at first, but eventually it rises above the clouds. Small shifts in thinking create massive shifts in destiny. You cannot become what you refuse to declare. Athletes speak victory before competitions. Leaders speak vision before results appear. Inventors believe in ideas nobody else understands. Why? Because faith always speaks before evidence arrives. Do not wait until circumstances improve before speaking positively. Anybody can speak hope when life is easy. Real faith speaks possibility in difficult seasons. Real faith says, I may be struggling now, but I am not staying here. I may be challenged now, but I am becoming wiser through this process. Your present condition is not your final destination. A caterpillar looks nothing like a butterfly while transformation is happening. And some of you are judging your entire future based on your current stage. Stop doing that. Growth takes time. Greatness develops in hidden places. You have survived every difficult day up to this moment. Think about that. Every disappointment, every betrayal, every setback, every painful season, and you are still standing. That means there is something inside you stronger than the pressure around you. Stop talking like a victim when you have already proven you are a survivor. The world responds differently to people who believe in themselves. Confidence attracts opportunity because confidence produces action, and action changes lives. But insecurity keeps people frozen. You keep waiting for certainty while destiny waits for movement. For 3 days, become intentional about gratitude as well. Stop focusing only on what is missing. Speak appreciation for what is already working in your life. Gratitude changes perspective. When you appreciate what you have, your mind shifts from scarcity to possibility. Speak life over your family. Speak life over your goals. Speak life over your future. Even when nobody else encourages you, become your own encourager. David encouraged himself before victory arrived. Sometimes you must preach to yourself until your spirit remembers who you are. You are not weak because you feel fear. Courage is moving despite fear. You are not disqualified because you made mistakes. Wisdom often grows through failure. You are not behind in life because your journey looks different. A tree and a flower do not bloom at the same time, yet both fulfill their purpose. Beautifully stop competing with other people's timelines. Your assignment is unique. Your path is unique. Your preparation is unique. Do not allow comparison to poison your confidence. When you compare constantly, you begin speaking from insecurity instead of purpose. For the next 3 days, protect your ears as well. Do not surround yourself with people who constantly speak negativity. Conversations influence mentality. If you spend all your time around fear, doubt becomes normal. But when you surround yourself with vision, growth becomes possible. There is greatness hidden inside ordinary people who simply learn to think correctly. The greatest revolution in your life may not come from money, connections, or opportunities. It may come from changing the way that you speak to yourself every single day. Because once your mind changes, your behavior follows. Once your behavior changes, your results change. And once your results change, your entire life begins moving in a different direction. Every morning is an opportunity to reintroduce yourself to your future. Do not wake up speaking defeat over a day that has not even started yet. Speak expectation, speak strength, speak discipline, speak purpose, speak possibility. Your tongue can become the bridge between your current condition and your future destiny. But you must use it intentionally. Stop cursing the season you are in. A seed buried underground is not dead. It is developing, and some of you are in hidden seasons where growth is happening beneath the surface. Do not speak death over a process that is preparing you for elevation. The next 3 days could change your mentality if you commit to disciplined speech. Every time negativity appears, replace it immediately with truth. Train your mind to align with purpose instead of fear. Refuse to become your own limitation. You are carrying more power than you realize. You are stronger than your past. You are wiser than your mistakes. You are greater than your fears. And your future is too important to keep poisoning it with negative words. For the next 3 days, every time your mind tries to remind you of what went wrong, remind your mind of what still remains possible. Too many people have allowed one painful chapter to convince them the entire story is over. But a chapter is not a conclusion. One betrayal is not your destiny. One failure is not your identity. One disappointment is not the final sentence over your life. You must stop interpreting temporary situations as permanent realities. Some of you are emotionally exhausted because your mind never rests. Even when your body is still, your thoughts are fighting wars. Fear keeps talking. Doubt keeps whispering. Insecurity keeps repeating old memories. And every day you agree with those thoughts until they become part of your personality. But hear me carefully. Not every thought deserves your agreement. Just because you think something does not mean it is true. Your mind is like a garden. Whatever you water consistently will grow. If you water fear, fear multiplies. If you water confidence, confidence expands. If you water excuses, weakness strengthens. If you water discipline, greatness begins to emerge. That is why you cannot casually allow negativity to live rent-free in your mind. You must become selective about what you entertain internally. For 3 days, stop saying things like, I will never change. Human beings are designed for growth. Everything in creation grows. Trees grow, muscles grow, knowledge grows, wisdom grows. Why do you think your life must remain the same forever? The moment you believe change is impossible, you unconsciously stop trying. And many people are not defeated by inability. They are defeated by hopelessness. Hope is powerful. Hope is not fantasy. Hope is expectation with vision. Hope says, even though I cannot see the outcome yet, I believe movement is happening. And when hope enters your spirit, energy returns. People with hope fight harder. They endure longer. They rise faster after setbacks. Some of you keep replaying your past mistakes like a movie inside your head. You remember every embarrassment, every rejection, every moment you felt ashamed. But you never replay your victories. You never replay the times you survived. You never replay the prayers that were answered. You never replay the obstacles you already overcame. Why? Because negative thinking has trained your mind to magnify pain and minimize progress. For the next 3 days, start reminding yourself of your victories. Maybe you are not where you want to be, but you are not where you used to be either. Growth may feel slow, but slow growth is still growth. A tree does not become massive overnight. Strong roots develop quietly before visible expansion appears. Stop disrespecting your process just because it does not look dramatic yet. Many people are waiting for external validation before they believe in themselves. You keep waiting for applause, recognition, or support. But if you require constant approval to stay motivated, people will control your confidence. There will always be critics. There will always be doubters. There will always be people who misunderstand your vision. You cannot build your identity on unstable opinions. A lion does not lose sleep because sheep dislike him. Eagles do not ask permission from chickens before flying. Stop shrinking yourself to fit environments that were never designed for your growth. Some of you are afraid to think bigger because people around you are comfortable living small. But you cannot become extraordinary while constantly apologizing for ambition. For 3 days every morning declare, I will not think small. I will not live beneath my potential. I will not allow fear to make decisions for me. Your future needs courage from you, not tomorrow, not next year. Now you must also stop insulting your own progress. Many people say, I am trying, with disappointment in their voice. But trying matters, effort matters, consistency matters. Every small disciplined action compounds over time. Greatness is rarely built in one dramatic moment. Greatness is built through repeated obedience to vision when nobody is watching. The problem with society is that people celebrate outcomes but ignore preparation. Everybody wants the harvest, but few respect the planting season. Everybody wants success, but few develop the mindset necessary to sustain success. You cannot carry greatness with a weak mentality. That is why adversity sometimes becomes training. Pressure reveals character. Diamonds are created under pressure. Muscles grow through resistance. Leaders are developed through challenges. Stop asking why life feels difficult and start asking what this season is teaching you. Pain can either break you or build you depending on your perspective. For 3 days, stop speaking like pressure is punishment. Sometimes pressure is preparation. Sometimes God allows difficult seasons because strength is being developed inside you. You are learning endurance, you are learning wisdom, you are learning discipline, you are learning faith. Weak language creates weak action. When you constantly say, maybe someday, you delay movement. But when you say, I am preparing now, your behavior changes immediately. Language shapes action. Action shapes destiny. Some people wake up already defeated because they spend their mornings feeding on negativity. Before they even pray, before they even think clearly, they absorb fear from social media, bad news, gossip, and comparison. Then anxiety controls the entire day. Protect your mind in the morning. The first voice you hear consistently influences your mindset deeply. Wake up and speak order into your life. Say, today I will control my focus. Today I will not waste energy on negativity. Today I will become better than yesterday. Discipline begins with internal leadership. If you cannot lead your thoughts will lead you. And understand this clearly. Confidence is not pretending to be perfect. Confidence is trusting that growth is possible. Some of you think you must become flawless before believing in yourself. That is impossible. Nobody starts as an expert. Every master was once a beginner. Every speaker once felt nervous. Every leader once felt uncertain. But they kept moving despite discomfort. Fear loses power when action begins. Many of you are waiting to feel ready before you move, but readiness often comes after movement starts. The first step creates momentum. Momentum creates confidence. Confidence creates expansion. For 3 days, stop announcing limitations. Do not say, I am bad with people. Do not say, I always fail. Do not say, nothing ever changes. Those statements become invisible prisons around your mind. Instead say, I am improving, I am learning, I am adapting, I am growing stronger. Give yourself permission to evolve. You are not supposed to remain the same person forever. Growth requires mental flexibility. The moment you believe your current condition is permanent, you unconsciously sabotage your own transformation. Some of you are carrying dreams that scare you because they are bigger than your current reality. That is normal. Vision should stretch you. If your dream does not require growth, it is probably too small. Stop asking whether you are currently qualified. Start preparing yourself daily. Qualification often follows commitment. The tragedy is not that people dream too big. The tragedy is that people surrender too early. Most people quit in the invisible stage before results appear. Seeds spend time underground before anyone sees evidence of life. But hidden seasons are still productive seasons. For 3 days, stop calling yourself unlucky. You are not unlucky. You are in process. Process is uncomfortable because transformation is happening. Caterpillars must enter isolation before becoming butterflies. Stop despising seasons that are developing you internally. And listen carefully to this. Your environment matters. Conversations matter. Music matters. The voices around you matter. If you constantly hear hopelessness, your spirit becomes heavy. Protect your atmosphere. Stop allowing negativity unlimited access to your mind. You cannot become powerful while feeding your spirit weakness every day. Successful people are intentional about what they consume mentally. They read things that strengthen them. They listen to things that inspire them. They speak things that empower them. For 3 days, become aware of your internal dialogue every hour. Catch yourself when negativity appears. Replace it immediately. If your mind says you are failing, answer back, I am learning. If your mind says you are weak, answer back, strength is developing. Stop allowing fear to speak unchallenged inside your head. Some of you have spent years encouraging everybody else while secretly destroying yourself with your own thoughts. That must end now. You deserve your own encouragement too. You deserve your own belief too. Do not underestimate the power of repetition. Athletes repeat movements until excellence becomes natural. Musicians repeat notes until mastery develops. In the same way, repeating empowering words trains your mentality. At first, it may feel unnatural because negativity has been your habit. But eventually, confidence becomes your new language. And remember this, your value does not decrease because somebody failed to recognize it. A diamond remains valuable even if it is buried in dirt. Stop allowing rejection to redefine your worth. Sometimes people reject you because they lack the capacity to understand your assignment. You are not called to please everybody. You are called to fulfill purpose. And purpose requires focus. Stop wasting emotional energy trying to convince people who already decided to misunderstand you. For 3 days, say this repeatedly. I will stay focused. I will stay disciplined. I will stay faithful to my vision. Focus is powerful because distracted people rarely fulfill destiny. The enemy loves distraction because distraction drains energy away from purpose. Every day you wake up, you are either moving toward your assignment or away from it. Your habits decide direction. Your words influence habits. That is why speaking correctly matters so much. You cannot expect a victorious life while constantly speaking defeat. Change your words and you begin changing your atmosphere. Change your atmosphere and you begin changing your mentality. Change your mentality and eventually your actions follow. There is greatness hidden in consistent people. Not people who feel inspired occasionally. People who remain disciplined repeatedly. Your future is not built on random emotional moments. It is built on daily decisions. So for the next 3 days, talk to yourself like someone who was born with purpose. Talk to yourself like someone preparing for greatness. Talk to yourself like someone who refuses to surrender. Talk to yourself like someone who already knows difficult seasons are temporary. Talk to yourself like someone whose future is bigger than fear.